Welcome to the Cosmic
Welcome.
Ocean. Yay.
Yay.
Oh, she's tired.
I just got really tired. I'll wake up today.
I'm not claiming anything that is not mine. I'm sending it back. Which
I'm
is
good.
a beautiful segue to what we're talking about today, which is cleansing and...
Yeah, cleansing and protection. I just kind of like... Especially because of everything that's going on, I kind of wanted to start there.
My name is Nayeli, and I want to start with the acknowledgement that we are here in Denver, Colorado, on the unceded land of the Cheyenne and Arapaho peoples, amongst many, many other peoples who have walked this land. Mm-hmm. And it is important to acknowledge that we are on stolen land.
And I'm Fatima.
Yep. Go ahead.
No, just follow us. I'm Ika and Mais with an E, Instagram and TikTok.
And my what is it called? Handle is the Nay_area on every platform. Link in bio to connect to all my other platforms and for one-on-one sessions. And I go live on TikTok doing channeling sessions, so you can catch me on one of those. Cool.
Great. So let's get started. So I guess it's just been really heavy because of everything that's been happening with the Roe versus Wade that was overturned. And it just got me thinking, and we discussed this in one of my classes about how, when fear is in your body, all of your, everything kind of shrinks. So imagine that in your body, you have, I talk about this a lot too. It's your physical body, your emotional body, and your spiritual body. So imagine like a little egg around you, right? Like this, 6 feet around, 6 feet across. So 3 and 3. And so when you're scared, when you are sick, when you're depressed, the energy body just shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. So I think that right now, because of the culture that we're living in, because of all of this, it's like fear is literally everywhere. Right? Like it just, they're just scaring us into all these crazy states, starting with COVID and then this, and it's just one thing after another, the shootings, and it's just, so we live in this constant fear. And so when that happens, it just, our whole emotional body shrinks. And what does that happen? It gets us depressed. It gets us open to all these vulnerabilities. So it makes us a lot more vulnerable. And that's where we're open for diseases to come in. Our immune system shrinks. All our defenses are... So I think during this time...
And then, wait, hold on. Why? How does that happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because fear is one of the emotions that will literally alter the state of our body.
Of our cells.
Through the nervous system. And, the nervous system is connected to so many big organs in our body that when this emotion alters that state, our body structure, the nervous system feels it and will then, it will, what is it called? It will then affect those big organs.
Yeah.
Like the lungs and the liver.
Digestive system. So it paralyzes your body. And so then we've talked about this as well. So when you're living in that constant fear, you're in that fight or flight, freeze or fawn state where your body's just constantly on edge. So that right there just, oh my gosh, it just brings on so many complications and so many diseases to your body.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, yes, like Nayeli always says, feel it, right? Feel that fear, but then also we have to move past it. We have to begin to learn how to function without constantly being scared. And so how do we do this, right? And I think that's what we're going to talk about today is cleansing ourselves and protecting ourselves. What do we need to do? Let's start first with protecting, right? With protecting your spiritual body, your physical body, your emotional body, right? And I think one of the things you always talk about is your health. And one of the things that I've learned is in order for you to be healthy physically, you need to heal your gut and heal your brain. What is it? Feed your brain, heal the gut. Because most people here in the U.S. are nutritionally deficient. Mm-hmm. Because the food that we eat, obviously, and just we're missing all these nutrients. So it's what we need to do is, even if, okay, so the goal is obviously to eat healthy, right? Mm-hmm. But if you've been stuck eating just, fast food, junk food, processed food, then you know what? Slowly just start with having a protein shake a day. One of those organic protein shakes that have all the vitamins and minerals. Just start with that. One little thing at a time, one step at a time, and that'll slowly help you start healing the gut and feeding your brain. Because so many times, because we're so nutritionally deficient, we are sick. Mm-hmm. And when you're sick, what do you want to do? You don't want to go out and walk and do stuff for yourself. Mm-hmm. So healing that allows you to at least start feeling better, to be able to go outside and to move. Mm-hmm. And to move. And what's one of the big things we always say, like when you're feeling depressed, it's energy that's stuck. Mm-hmm. So then that also is in your emotional body. So just imagine all this air around you stuck. So what do you do to unstuck this? What do you do?
Move.
You move. Mm-hmm. You move. So exercise is great, and it doesn't have to be necessarily exercise. It can just be walking, going outside, getting some sun, mm-hmm. hugging a tree. You know, just getting out and moving. Mm-hmm. And then once we start, because we have to work with our physical first before we start healing everything else. Mm-hmm. But it's all connected. It all comes together. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. And I was just thinking about, the way that our system works and how a lot of healthier food or organic food is a lot more expensive mm-hmm. than the shitty food. Mm-hmm. Or not even, the very unhealthy food.
You can go to McDonald's and get, or any fast food restaurant mm-hmm. and get their dollar menu, right?
And these are all set up in the communities of color for a fucking reason.
Yes.
So then it's like, okay.
There's food deserts in the cities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then right now with fucking inflation and the prices of gas, like it's easier to just go to McDonald's that's down the street than have to drive 45 minutes to a Sprouts.
Right.
And then spend 10 times more than you would usually spend at a Safeway, but that fruit is so much more better mm-hmm. than the fruit at Safeway. So then, like, what do you do? I just see the spiral, and I just see the way that these systems keep us in these cages, keep us in these
So then I have a question for you, for the people who are like, no, I can't afford it. How many bodies do you have? It's like, you have one body. I had this mindset for years. Like, I literally... I think I've been really changing how I eat the last 4 years, mm-hmm. but I think this year is when it finally, that I just went boom. Yeah. I don't eat gluten, I don't eat dairy, I eat super, super clean. I don't eat, I'll eat chips sometimes, but I eat super, super clean. But it took me 4 years to get there. So one of the main things that I struggled with was, it's just too expensive. It's too expensive. And that's the same thing you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Too expensive. But finally I have come to realize that, we only have this one body.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
This one body.
Right.
So why we take care of our cars, right? Mm-hmm. We get oil changes. Mm-hmm. We rotate the tires. So why do we treat our vehicles better than we treat our bodies, than we treat ourselves?
Right. It's because I don't know if I was really ever in that state of mind of I can't. It's just that I didn't want to. Okay. But then I looked at, hold on. It's like, I don't know how to. That's the thing. I didn't know what to do to eat better. The mm-hmm. only thing I knew was I have to eat more veggies, but then mm-hmm. that's where it becomes more expensive, going out of my way and get veggies and fruits. But then now, sitting in this mentality and what I could eat and what we do eat, it's just bulk of rice, beans, and chicken. That honestly, and lentils
and veggies,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And throw in some veggies in there. But really, these big proteins that are going to be really good for our body mm-hmm. that we can buy in bulk is what's going to get us.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because you can go to Costco, you buy a big bag of beans, you buy a big bag of brown rice, and there you have the staples, right? Because mm-hmm. that in itself is a complex protein. Complex carb, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so that has what you need, and then you add some veggies in. You can buy
so then what you would save buying in bulk these 3-4 mm-hmm. items mm-hmm. will be enough for you to spend on the fruits and veggies, stay within budget. But then it's which is so simple when you look at it that. It's actually really, really simple. But then and then it's why do we complicate it? It's because we just don't know what to make.
Right. Right. And I think so this is what I found that is so crazy. Now that I have eat nothing of junk, no junk, I don't crave the sugar. I rarely crave it. Mm-hmm. And
it's a process.
And I get fuller faster. It is a process. Yeah. I get fuller faster, but I'm not always so hungry. Uh-huh. Right? Uh-huh. So then I see, as you detox your body, you'll notice the difference because all those chips have those red dyes. All this processed food, especially that red dye, is made to be addictive. And all of that addictive stuff, what does it cause you? It causes you to crave it and want more and more and more of it.
And it works.
And it works. But it does something to your brain where you can sit there and eat the whole bag. No, I'm not coming for you. I'm not coming for you.
Who told you this?
It's science. What it comes down to is just little steps, right? Little things. Make those little changes, like, because you still eat your chips, and that's fine, and I'm not guilting you about it or shaming you about it. You eat your chips.
Yeah, I do.
But you eat so much more healthier. You eat so much better. Mm-hmm. And I think that one of the things we were talking about in class is like, you know what? If you can't incorporate or you can't make any changes, then go to Sprouts and buy yourself, or Whole Foods or Natural Grocers, and buy yourselves an organic protein shake that has all the vitamins and minerals.
And that is so fucking helpful too, because honestly, I'm really trying. You know, I'm slow at this.
Yes.
But I'm trying to like cook better or eat better. Mm-hmm. And my first step is my protein shakes. Yeah. And I've been drinking those religiously. Yeah. But they're so helpful.
And you know why it's so good?
Why?
Because it gives you all that stuff, all the nutrients to feed your brain. Mm-hmm. And it starts to heal. It's
super simple.
Yeah.
And that's what I need. I need it to be simple.
Yeah. And like, even when I'm in a hurry, all I do is grab some milk. So I don't do cow milk either. So it's so much better to change to oat milk, almond milk, any of the other milks. And just put, your protein scoops and vámonos.
Right.
That's all on rushy days, right?
Mm-hmm. On rushy days.
On rushy days.
And so then, you're cleansing out your body. Yes. And you're allowing for the energy to flow.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. So once you feel better, the energy starts flowing. Yeah. You're able to get up out of bed. You're able to actually go to work on time. Be happy at work.
Don't push it. Because I don't fucking know. I eat better.
Yeah.
But I do not wake up early. That's just you. But I mean, you're able to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not about that. It's not about the waking up early. It's about you doing what you need to do and able to do it.
Yeah, and feeling good about it. Yeah.
And so then that'll also give you the tools. You're able to get up and go to your therapy, mm-hmm. right? Work on that shadow work. Because how are you going to go and take care of all that messy stuff if you don't feel, you can't even get out of bed?
Okay, that's a really good point too, because I was thinking about it recently, how a lot of marginalized communities of color are in this space, are in this survival mode, just trying to get their basic needs met.
Right.
But from operating from fear, it's really difficult. Operating from the space of I need and I can't and I have to, it's really difficult. So like the way that these communities are set up, the way that we are set up, I mean, we've been there.
Oh my God.
Multiple times. It feels like we just cannot have the privilege or the luxury of taking a moment to do what we need to do to feed our spirit, like the meditation or doing things that we want to do, or sleeping or having fun, like the things that we need to feed our spirit. It feels like a luxury. It feels like a privilege, because we are so in this space of I can't and I have to survive and I don't have time and I'm so fucking tired of just having to fucking survive all the fucking time. And then right now, with everything that's going on with Roe versus Wade, it's like, it's so heavy.
It's so heavy.
It's so fucking heavy that it makes you feel...
Unfortunately, this is going to affect BIPOC women.
Yes.
And low-income women, which are usually people of color, indigenous women, right? This doesn't affect...
white women.
It doesn't affect white women. It doesn't affect
white women.
Privileged
the
women.
It affects people.
Yeah.
Women of color.
So
birthing peoples.
Yeah.
This is going to affect birthing peoples, especially birthing people of color.
And so we need to know that there's options, right? That there's ways. And I think as people of color, we have always had our curanderas, our brujas, our shamans, the people that we go to when we need to get stuff done, right?
Yeah.
And so that, thank Creator, is still open. And so as people also of color, that's when we just need to connect more as a community, connect to our spirituality, connect to our ancestors for protection, because they are here for us. They have been through this. And so I think this is a really, really important time to, stop asking. I saw a post about this and I just loved it. It's like, it's time to go in and protect yourself, protect your family. Like, pray for the family, ask the ancestors for help. Not on the stupid shit, right? About the boyfriend, the husband. No, we are here to protect the families, protect ourselves, and protect the communities. I think We just need to make that shift in mindset, right?
Yeah.
Stop worrying about all this stupid...
The Matrix bullshit.
Yes.
But I wanted to go back onto what I was saying really quickly so I can just finish that thought, is because of everything that's going on with Roe versus Wade, the energy is heavy, and the energy is just makes me specifically feel so exhausted.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I don't have the energy to do what I want to do, and that goes back to that fear.
I think also it's very important for our emotional health to not feed into it so much, right? So don't watch the news. Like seriously, don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. You can scroll through social media up until a point, right? But when you start seeing all this negative, then you're just perpetuating more negative.
It gets heavier.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you want to watch the news, feel free to watch the news. Just know
we're feeding into the Matrix.
Know your body. Right. I mean,
like who's in charge of the news, right? It's white men.
True. But still, I don't know. I like to know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So
just watch limited.
Yeah.
Limited.
Balance it out. Pay attention to your body.
You probably learn more on TikTok about the news than on...
Oh, yeah. No, I don't turn on like Fox News or anything.
Oh, okay.
But I like to know what's going on around me.
Oh,
That's
okay.
how I understand.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know?
I'm saying don't watch the TV news, I guess.
Oh, yeah. That is actually really bullshit. If you want to know about news, you can get your local newspaper, and that will have a lot more accurate information.
Step back a little bit. So we have to take care of our emotional, our physical, so we can take care of our emotional and our spiritual. So that's when we go into our next thing. How do we take care of our spiritual? That's where we start connecting with our higher self. We connect with our ancestors. We start connecting with the higher spirits, with our cosmic, guides, the cosmic beings, spirit, creator, whoever you connect with. And so you start with that connection, and that's where you start asking, protect me, help me. That's simple. That's the first step. Help me. And what I like to do, I always talk to them. And we talked about this before. I talk to the house. I'm like, abuelitos, take care of the house. House, take care of us, I talk to my cats. Don't let anybody come in, cats. I laugh because they see people and they run. They hide. Yeah. But you start there just simply by asking and thanking them. And like our other podcast that we talked about, our altar, you connect with them by setting up the altar, by feeding them. And that's how you reciprocate that relationship.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but then how do you do it?
Okay.
Besides, like, okay, I get the ancestors, and then that gives you how to, but then what about with the cosmic beings? Like, how do we do that? How do I connect with these cosmic beings?
I think the first step for everybody is the ancestors. Okay. Because you can't...
But I want to go straight to these
I know you do. But how are you going to go? How are you going to tell these people to go to their cosmic beings when they don't even feed their abuelitos and their abuelitas?
She's coming for you, not me.
Like, you have to connect with your egun first. You have to. You have to feed your ancestors first. Because it's like, how can we explain it? How would I explain it? So it's like, you're asking, I don't know. You see them right there ready to help you, and you're like, oh, never, not you, and you just go over here. So it's like blowing them off.
And two, it's like you're not going to be able to understand these cosmic energies if you don't know how to understand your egun, your ancestors, because your ancestors are you. So then basically you're not going to understand these cosmic beings if you don't understand yourself.
Yes.
And you have to take baby steps. And I know we all want to jump straight into this beautiful magical realm, but you have to recognize that, you already are in this beautiful magical realm, no matter how bullshit it is.
Right.
You already are here. It's already within you, and you are the embodiment of it.
Listening to this podcast is not a coincidence. That's right? True. It's not a coincidence. This reaches the people it has to reach. Yeah. And you're listening for a reason. Okay, so then let's take a little step back before you go into the cosmic beings. I think some of the simple things that we could start doing in protection as well is, so I have sage, but I don't really like to use it. And now I don't really like to use it because I've learned that, it's not in our indigenous practice to use sage. This is for the native people here of America. It's their sacred medicine to use in ceremony. So don't use sage. Copal, though, is a Mexican medicine that you can use, but also it's becoming extinct. I just found that out. Isn't that so sad? So I would say use your copal for ceremony. Okay. Use it for ceremony. we still have some. You guys can still burn it, but we have to start burning other things.
Yeah. Palo Santo is the same thing.
Palo Santo. So it's like, but what is happening is because these people are coming in thinking they don't even know what the hell they're doing, and they're burning and saging, and it's like you don't even know what the hell it is. You know, don't. If you don't understand it, don't do it. Don't do it.
My go-to is el cigarro.
Yes,
that has been so beautiful recently. I think it just continues to deepen.
Tobacco.
Tobacco. My relationship with that. So that's my go-to.
Me, I do copal, but then lately what I've been thinking, cedar. Oh my gosh.
Oh, cedar makes my heart so warm.
Cedar. I also like, you can do incense. You can do basic incense. You can do. So they have cedar bundles that you can buy. Cedar bundles. You can make your own bundles, rosemary bundles, any herbs. So you can go in and burn any herb. Cinnamon. You can burn cinnamon. You can make a little, like, go onto the stove, put some cinnamon into a pot, boil it, and you can walk around with that and cleanse your home. So I always say you start from top to bottom. Make sure you open the door, get the spirits out, and
a window
cleanses, and it protects.
Cinnamon?
Anything.
Okay. And
cinnamon
brings
is
in abundance. What is it? Cinnamon? Cinnamon brings in abundance.
Oh, and then there's this camphor. That stuff. Oh my god, that one is just like if you had like the suegra come visit, or if you have like somebody that you don't really like that comes over to your house and you need to really cleanse the.
First of all, let's start there. Why is somebody that you don't like coming into your home?
Ooh, good point. Okay, if you need to really cleanse the place, then you get that camphor. It's like vaporu on a. Ooh.
It's like vaporu smoke.
Yeah, it's crazy. So you just get that, cleanse your whole home. What I also like to do is so I used to make sal de bruja, and I'm working on figuring out how to make it again, because the ash that you use for incense and stuff that you burn that's just used to burn, like an offering, you can use that and add it to salt, and that's sal de bruja. When we burn our sacreds, our medicine, it's usually during channeling. So that is a gift, but it's also absorbing all the energies around. Yeah. So we can't use that. So you can use your ash from your medicine that you burn that is not used to clear energy. But then you can use that, the stuff that you just burned, you can use that with salt, and you can make sal de bruja. And I like that to put like on the entryways, and you can just use regular salt as well on the entryways around your house.
Salt. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And the pure, like the more Himalayan, the better. You can make a barrier around your house, and it's also really important too to understand that how powerful you are. You can just sit there and set that intention in your head, create the bubble, and you protect your whole house.
Yes.
And so it's simple as that. One of the things that I used to do, I don't do it too much now, but just depending on spaces that I'm walking into, I always make a bubble around myself and just say protect me, and I'm good to go. Yeah.
I think that's really important, that it's as simple as just simply setting your intention. You are power. The start of this podcast was, I don't want to absorb any of her energy, right? Like, I don't claim any energy that isn't mine. And it's that simple. Like, from the moment that I spoke those words, it became true. Because I believe that it became true, so it became true. That's another thing. You can't just say it and then doubt yourself the entire time you're saying it. Yeah. You have to believe what you are saying. You are power. Yes.
Your words are power.
Your words are power, and you are power, because you are energy. You are divinity. Hold on. So then, yes, these beautiful tools and resources like the cinnamon and tobacco, and like, they're beautiful, but it also comes down to you can do it just because you said you can. Yeah.
And you have to believe it, like Naomi said.
You have to believe it.
So going back a little bit, words are power. You also have to really watch how you talk to yourself and what you say in your head. So like we started this speaking how this is such a fearful environment. You need to stop living in that fear and change your rhetoric. Change the way you speak to yourself. Change the way you verbalize things, and stop saying I'm broke. So all you're doing is calling in the I'm broke. I'm scared. You're just calling in the scared. So I think it's just really important, like, we can both agree that it's the emotion that you set behind your intention and behind what you want and what you want to work on.
And I agree too about changing the rhetoric, because if you're constantly telling yourself something, you're going to believe it. If you're constantly telling yourself that you don't have time, then you're not going to have time because you're in that space that you believe it. You've said it so much that you believe it. And then going back to the idea that you can create whatever reality you want simply by saying it, then you're going to create that if you're constantly believing it, if you constantly feel like you don't have time. And I think I spoke into existence super casual, like not with intention, just the idea of I want to have more time in the gym. I want to be able to because for a second I was enjoying myself so much that it would just fly by. And I was like, no, I want to be able to have so much time in the gym. And this past week I've been like, damn, I've been here for like an hour and it's only been like 15 minutes.
That's so
they really answered me and they said, well, here you go. That's all the time that you've asked for. So it's like, god damn. Anyways, and then that's going to help with this idea of if we are, again, going back to the community of color, we're in this idea that we don't have time. Switch the rhetoric to I have time to spare and watch that shit change, shift. Now, what are you going to do when you have that time to spare? Are you going to sit down and meditate and go enjoy yourself, go sit in the sun and do nothing? Are you going to make a delicious meal that feeds your being? Like what, if you are going to ask for time to spare, know what you're going to do with that time to spare and feel it and enjoy it and be in that moment. So I also agree with the changing your rhetoric.
Oh yeah, I think it's so important. Okay, so we got protection, right? Anything else that we can add? I guess just learning, just really being intentional about protecting yourself and your space.
One of the affirmations that I've been telling myself for at least a year now is I am divinely protected.
Yes, I like that one.
Yeah. So.
And I think it's really important to switch that mindset because I think in our culture specifically, it's like we're always scared. Oh my God, somebody did something to me. Alguien me hizo algo. Alguien algo, it's all of that we're always scared of other people hexing us, sending us bad vibes, sending us all this stuff, when in reality the hexing I think is usually what, maybe 10% of when we think it really happens to us. What does kind of attach is like the jealousy, but it's not even jealousy and that is sent like I intentionally sent jealous to you, right? It's more of like, God, I wish I had that, and they really feel. And it's sent to you in a non-malicious way. And so that stuff attaches to you. But when you are protected, it doesn't come in.
How do you differentiate if it has happened or if it hasn't happened? If it has reached you or if it hasn't reached you?
I don't know how.
I feel like...
Because for me,
Because then it's like, well, then how do I know that it's just me? It's my fear.
So like a normal person, I would say, like, when I feel like I can't sleep, that all these bad things keep happening to me, I know that I just need to do an energy cleanse, right? That my energy is heavy. And it can be heavy because of me, because of my thoughts, because of my mindset, my rhetoric, or it could be because of something attached to me. And it can be something as simple like some jealousy, right? Like I said, or somebody like the whole mal de ojo, that they just look at you and they want something from you. It's not even necessarily, the way I see it, it's not necessarily bad. It's just that some bad juju was sent your way, not even realizing that it was sent.
I feel like, because right away I would say, well, why would you cleanse when you can do shadow work? You know what I mean? That was like one of the first things that came into my mind. Like, you have to do shadow work because the cleanse isn't going to do anything if it's it's going to be a short-term relief. But at the end of the day, if it's you doing this to you, then you're not going to be able to sleep. You're going to go through the same shit tomorrow too. You know what I mean? So
But we come into that hole that we talked about, physical and our whole little sphere, right? Our whole egg around us. If that egg is all muggy and we haven't moved any of that energy, at least doing a cleanse, having somebody doing some Reiki on you, a healing session, doing a limpia con un huevo, doing a barrida, that moves that energy.
Okay.
It removes that negative stuff from yourself, which 99% of the time is your shit.
Well,
and that allows
That
allows you to start your shadow work.
Does it remove it or just bring it up?
It moves it. It moves it.
Okay. Yeah.
It moves it.
So it doesn't remove it.
It will remove like the negative, the heavy energy,
What's not
right?
yours.
Right. But if you so this is a good example. So let's say it's like I just have such a negative mentality. I go do a barrida. They clean all of that shit out. It's taken away. It's dissolved. It's changed, transmuted. But then I keep with that same mindset. 2-3 weeks, I'm gonna need another one. Mm-hmm. So yes, that's where your set comes in. I get it.
Okay, but if I know something's wrong and I have processed it and I've asked myself questions and it still lingers, then I'll go to the shower. That's how I cleanse. It's like my go-to cleanse is the water. Mm-hmm. And I will speak into it.
Oh yeah, and water by itself is amazing.
Do that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is shower.
Sorry, I'm like throwing shit at the camera. Just kidding. No, this is I'm just showing.
You go into the shower, you remove all of that. You say to release all that to clean you.
And yeah, so I say, like while I'm actively scrubbing my body, I am also actively like doing this with my little towel or whatever. And I'm saying that I'm saying that I am cleansing myself of any energy that is not my own or that does not serve my highest good. And I just keep repeating that to myself until I'm fine or until I want to stop, whatever. And then I also actively am saying that I'm calling into, at one point, it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. But at one point, I start calling into all the energy that does serve my highest good. So I kind of balance it out.
That's really good.
And like after the shower, if I still feel that energy lingering, then I know. And that's just because of my routine. But then it's almost as if this little seed of where that energy comes from is right in front of me, and I'm like, oh, okay, and I'll do whatever I need to do. I'll send it back, or I'll transfer it, or whatever. But typically, yeah, it's just like little mal de ojo or jealousy, but even then, it's just not as hardcore as my fear or in the past would have made me believe. You know what I mean? Right. But again, I don't know. And this is the thing. What helped me get to that moment, to the space that I'm in now, was my shadow work. Was the cleansings, but at the same time, like we look at what we talked about last time. We can ask our Señor for cleansings, but at the end of the day, if we don't deal with our own shit, then it's just going to be this cycle that stays reoccurring. So
yes, so if you don't do your shadow work, you're always going to need a cleanse because all that shit comes back and back. But this really helps with any cleanse, really helps with removing all the stuff that is yours and isn't yours, that has attached to you, right? And then also...
Removing is such an interesting word, though, because how I've seen it...
So the way I see it is it transmutes, right? Like with the huevo. You get the egg.
You can't remove it unless you've processed it.
But it's not your stuff. Okay, I have all this stuff around me. It's all my shit, all my blah blah blah. You remove it from your energy field from that moment, right? You remove it. But if you keep it, that's why if you haven't done your shadow work, it comes right back. But for that moment when you do the cleanse, si se te quita, it's gone. Because if you think about it, it's like, okay, give me an example of what shadow work.
But then why would it come back if it's gone?
Because you still haven't done the work.
It's not gone.
Yeah.
When you pull a weed, if you just rip off the leaves, it's gone. It's not there.
Right.
But if you don't get to the root...
So that's shadow work, doing the root.
If you don't get to the root, it'll grow back. But if you didn't get to the root, then it's not all gone.
So when you do the cleanse, it's when
like you're just wiping your body.
You're doing it around your energy field, what's in your energy field. And
but
it does remove.
Think they take... Okay, so it's like a cleansing.
Yeah. You're cleaning your energy field. You're cleaning what's visible.
I don't understand the cleaning part. Don't get frustrated with me. I'm really trying to understand. Don't get frustrated. So it's like when you do Reiki, I understand that.
Yeah, it's the healing.
But I don't understand Reiki as, okay, I'm gonna no, I'm just moving this around. I understand that. You're moving it around because they have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But then what's the point in taking it away? You can't take it away. They have to deal with it.
Right.
You're just moving it around. It's the taking away part that I'm like.
Okay, so you're taking away the stuff that is like, but okay, so it's like.
You're getting frustrated. Oh, okay.
And I'm trying to see how I'm going to explain this. Because it's there. I get it. And you do move it, but you move away, I guess, that top layer. Oh, like, think about it as like a frappuccino.
Yes, but what is that
you're
top layer?
You're moving the whipped cream so that you can at least start beginning to taste the coffee.
But what is that?
That's the stuff around you, the dirty stuff.
What is it?
I don't know.
Give me specifics so I can understand it.
Oh.
Like what?
So you have all those jealousies, the.
But you can't get rid of them.
Yes, you can.
Not until they process it.
Okay, the jealousy from other people. So when other people come, the mal de ojos, that stuff.
Oh.
The sustos, when you get scared and you're carrying all these little traumas.
Like everything that's not yours.
Yeah, but then the traumas too, they're there. Like all this shit that you were carrying. It's like, okay, it's like a person, you know how, that bag lady song? Erica
Bag lady.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're removing some of those bags. That's what it is, removing some of the bags.
But you can't remove them. You literally can't remove them, even temporarily. Like,
okay,
I don't
or lighten the load. Lighten the load.
You can't lighten the load. They have to
okay,
process
when you would do your cleanses, wouldn't you feel better?
What cleanses? Yeah, but I don't think it ever see, okay, I'm trying to understand that. Maybe that's my problem. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I don't know. No. Okay, when I would do my cleanses, I would feel better.
Mm-hmm.
But it washed away, I think, all the energy that wasn't mine.
Yes.
I don't think it ever once took away anything that was mine. That's the thing. I feel like it just, and I think it did move it around.
So
got me out of my head.
It removes, like, let's say you're just so full of freaking anxiety, it at least removes the anxiety, not the root of the anxiety, because obviously you need to figure out what your root is, but it removes that heaviness so that you can start working on it. Porque de qué sirve? Like, imagine like a hoarder, you walk into the room is fucking stuffed, how are you gonna do?
I get it.
Ah!
I think I get it. It's like the unnecessary things.
Yes.
That we're just constantly giving. Okay, I get it.
Okay, so explain it.
Okay, so how I'm understanding it now, it's like how we're always talking about when you're walking around with this fear, when you're walking around with all these worries, like that you're constant, like when your mind is spiraling for funsies, because that's what it does.
Yes.
But it's all at the end of the day unnecessary. Then that's when that's what it cleanses and detangleizes. Yes. But the thing, it's
like a detangler on your hair.
So then we go back to the idea that it kind of doesn't really take it away.
It takes some part of it.
It detangles it.
Yeah, and it takes some part of it, right? So it's like, let's say you have a susto, like this huge fragmenting of your soul.
It detangleizes it.
Yeah, so it helps you. Oh shit! It helps you be like, damn. Okay, I can process it. I can think about it. Because sometimes you're just so overwhelmed, so stuffed with all this shit, they don't even know where to start. Yeah.
And that's why I think it's also really important to do it. Well, I want to agree to disagree. You aferrada that it takes it away, and I think it detangleizes it. Because again...
But by detangling, you're removing the knot.
Well, yeah, but
it takes it
all
away.
The hair is still there.
But sometimes the knot comes out.
Girl... Okay, I do understand you. Okay. But I think we should just agree to disagree.
Fine, agree to disagree. So then when I do like barridas and egg cleanses with my clients, what do you think about that?
You're detangleizing it. what are we just talking about?
Okay. So a limpia, a cleanse, is like the first step in first aid, where you apply it to stop the bleeding and stabilize the wound. Mm-hmm. Right? That's how the cleanses, because so it removes everything that isn't yours, but what it does with your shit, it just moves it around. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then go ahead and say what you're saying.
Well, we were explaining, it's like, okay, you stop the wound, you stop the bleeding.
Yes.
But what is the blood? The blood is all that unnecessary, like
your
fear,
stuff.
your stuff. Again,
Anxiety.
cleansing off any looks like that thin layer of what's not yours, what's confusing you, a lot of the projection, which could also be transmuted to fear that you're constantly repeating to yourself, which is a big one. So it's all these unnecessary fears and anxieties that have your mind spiraling. So really it's in your mind that it then latches onto your bones and stuff, right? So anyways, that fear and that anxiety and that unnecessary
anger,
sadness, grief, blame. Okay. So that's what all the blood would be. And when we are stopping it with these cleanses, and when we stop it, it's with these cleanses that we're stopping all that unnecessary noise. It's going on, bringing your body into stillness.
Yes. Allowing, because it moves everything around, your stuff, it moves your stuff around, and it allows you to access it and to notice it and to work through it.
Right. And then why does your stuff need to be moved around? Well, because after years of suppression, literally like one after the other, your body's being built up and has become stiff with like all these emotions that you haven't dealt with, all these traumas and fears that you haven't dealt with, that you need to cleanse with the smoke. I think is so beautiful. It needs that smoke or that cleanse for it to loosen everything up so that you can allow it to come up and see what it is clearly. And I really, really love the smoke and being able to do that. I've realized I do it during my lives. I mean, that's why it's there. Yes, it's an offering, but it's also to move around through the energy, through the essence, the being that I'm working with, move around the things that they're dealing with. And then how do you do it? You taught me this was by using the smoke and placing it where you want it to go and watching it and imagining it. Your imagination isn't fake. Your imagination is you actually doing it, but imagining the smoke going through where you want it to go, going through your third eye chakra all the way through your head, coming out the other end, which I thought that was beautiful. That shit clears you.
Because it's like, time isn't linear, right? This stuff isn't real. So the wall, we can go through the wall, and so the smoke definitely, like we can, but we can't.
Well, why does that have to do with time?
Because it's just the time and space, the speed, all that molecules, you know, like
okay. You said it.
Because it's dense energy. It's energy, and because we say this, we can't get through this, we're not going to get through it.
But why? Because it's all sped up? Or?
It's just dense, it's all clustered energy.
Okay.
So when you use the smoke
it's all clustered energy.
Right. Yeah, it's like
it's going really, really fast.
Yeah, and really congested, really. But when you get the smoke, you just say it's going through and it's going to go through. So if there's a space, like let's say you're trying to, I don't know, cleanse your office and you can't, you can literally stand outside your office and just blow the smoke in.
Yeah, or be in meditation
at home. Yeah, you can sit at home with your smoke and blow it into your office. So that's why when you do cleansings and you do clearings, you always just imagine it going right through your head, your body, your whole.
I like
it goes through there.
You taught me that at one point you no longer need the physical manifestation of what you're using.
Yes. Once you develop a relationship with it.
Right. Once you yes, 100%. All of this, yeah, for sure.
You just call in that sacred, like that you work with the sacred tobacco. You call in that sacred tobacco, and it comes in and works with you.
Yeah, and I think that's really, really dope.
One of the main things that I really like for cleansing and protection is the cascarilla. It's the egg. It's pretty much it's eggshells that are cleaned and dried and then made into a little powder, and it's like a little chalk. And you guys can get anywhere in any botanica, cascarilla. I posted some on my Instagram so you can take a look at what it looks like. But that stuff, you use it to cleanse. So you can put it in your mop water, in your water where you wipe everything down, and that cleans everything. It takes it. Just imagine it's like a hox. It just goes in, or pine saw just goes in and takes everything out, energetically and spiritually.
Yeah, and then going back, you did mention it, but having a window open so that the
anytime you're intentionally doing any spiritual work, always have a window open.
Or, I mean, again, depending on how you feel about this, you can just say,
Right,
it's going to go out that window.
Cascarilla, you get some and you rub some on your hand for clearing, and you just start at your head and you go down. Like that. That's for clearing. If you want to use it for protection, you put a little bit of cascarilla on your hands, at your fingertips. You put some behind your ear and behind your neck.
Why?
And you put a little bit on your head. So it protects your ori, your head.
And your ori is your head, spirit, your soul.
And then it just protects here, just your, just like you're protecting all of this, your whole ori, your back, in the back of the neck. It's a very spiritual spot. I was going to tell you, I forgot. So this is where like spirits can connect because they're really open. It's like the reptile brain. What's up? It's just this
the
part.
lizard brain.
Yeah.
The cranium.
And you can put a little bit under your feet.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to court or something.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. That's for protection. And then always like for clearing, like agua florida. You can use that for anything, for water, like in your waters and spray it anywhere. Tequila is a really good tequila or mezcal. Depending on what you work with, like what you feel more comfortable with, you can spray that, and that's a super cleanser as well. You can use that instead of the agua florida. And if you develop a relationship with the mezcal or with the tequila, that just is an amazing way to cleanse and to clear energy.
I like rum.
You do rum. Mm-hmm.
You can put it in a spray bottle.
Or around it. Yeah, spray your spaces. What's really cool too is like you can have that. So I guess this way it doesn't smell too bad. Agua florida. Because imagine with your tequila at work, spray your space at work with it. If you put in a water bottle, that way you don't have to smoke anything out. You don't have to use the smoke.
And then like talk to it and ask it to do what you want it to do, right? Ask it
developing that relationship with it.
So that you can go into the spaces at work and not have to bring anything with you, and you can just do it. And again, if you want to use those resources, right? But then again, you can just speak into what you want it to do, and you can imagine it.
Yeah.
I think imagining it really brings in the element of emotion.
Mm-hmm. And I think those are our first few initial steps you can start with, starting off really small. And of course, like I said, starting with the ancestors, with your egun.
Yeah, asking your ancestors to walk with you again, the affirmation.
I guess the protection too, what you can do is like Nayeli always says, cover your head.
Oh, yeah.
Cover your head.
Wear light colors.
The black, if you want to absorb energy, wear black. If you want to just be clear without absorbing anything, wear clear colors, white. As a woman, red around the waist, the navel to protect the uterus. You cover your third eye, so that just protects your ori, your tonali. This is a good start, guys. We'll do a part 2 eventually.
Yeah, or if you want to ask any questions, then we can include them in the part 2.
But I'm hungry. I want to go cook dinner.
Just getting grumpy, hangry. Well, that's it. Thank you for listening to our podcast.
Yes, and thank you for holding the space with us and allowing us to come into your homes, works, jobs, workouts.
Believe in your own divinity. Believe in your own power.
Yes. And if you have questions, shoot us a DM, and we would love to answer your questions.
On Instagram, that's probably going to be the most.
We'd love to answer your questions.
Yes, we would. Cool. All right. Thank you.
Thank
Ashe.
you. Peace.